Hello, welcome to the long-awaited Soulprint Pet Parade. Okay, so we're going to start with Tika. On the 18th of this month, she is going to be turning 14. As many of you know, we lost her brother in April, but she's doing okay. She's an old gal, and she just does her thing. But she's doing okay without her brother. Of course, she's surrounded by a bunch of cats, so I guess it doesn't really hurt that much. Okay. I'm just going to, hang on here, I'm just going to put her down. Okay, next, come here, little boy. Woo! Next, be nice, show them your beautiful face. This is Atticus. So Atticus and Jerry live together, and Atticus and Jerry are my daughters. They live with my daughter. They're here because she's in the middle of a move, and so they came here to hang out. Now, Atticus is shy. We actually think he's a little feral. He doesn't really like anybody, including Victoria. But he's a gentle little soul. And like Jerry, he's a little handicapped. He has a deformed paw here that doesn't work. But he's a happy boy as long as he doesn't have to interact with people. Okay, you're a good boy. Okay, there you go. There you go. Good job. And he's now run away to hide. This little one is Twyla. She is my daughter, Vanessa. She lives here with us. Twyla is going to be 1 year old on December 1st. Why don't you look at the camera so you can see how beautiful you are. She is tiny. This is her full grown. I know, meow. She weighs, 8 pounds. We're all very excited. She's a little sweetheart. She loves Vanessa best. And she's a bit of a troublemaker. Don't you kid yourself. Yes, she is. Okay, so there's Miss Twyla. There you go. Now this is my boy, Jerry. Woo! Okay, we have to catch Jerry.
You mean Nova?
Nova. Come here, babe. Now this is my little boy, Jerry. Oh my God, Nova. Look at the camera. Yeah. Nova just turned 1 year old. Oh, really? Really? Okay. And he's a good boy. He is a little trying at times, but he's a good boy. Okay, down you get. Here he comes. And here's Jerry. So, for those of you who might be new to the channel, Jerry is my daughter, Victoria. He is a long-haired, we believe, part Maine Coon. We think he's 7. I don't know. It could be wrong. It feels like I've been calling him 7 for 2 years now. I'm not sure. He has 1 back leg, not 2. When he was living with us, he very often would show up on videos. It seemed that there was just some sort of mystical timing to the way Jerry would show up while I was doing my videos. He had absolutely no compunction about crawling all over the table. He would often lay right beside the computer when I was recording. Do you want to look at them? Yeah. He is absolutely beautiful. He knows without doubt or question that he is a rock star. He absolutely believes it. Don't ya? Yeah. That's a good boy. It's a good boy. All right. Down you get. Good job. Okay. Pet parade done. So, let's start with I was wrong. Hold on, I'm just going to adjust this mic. This is a new mic, so hopefully you're getting better sound than you were. I sincerely hope. Okay. So, let's talk about the Virginia race and what happened. I don't know what happened, okay? I just don't know. I take small comfort from the fact that it appeared that almost all of the readers said that Youngkin was not going to win and Terry was, and that is not what happened. So I just don't know. It feels as if there was an energy shift that for some reason we just kind of weren't picking up on. You know, it's hard to know. I mean, it really is. It's hard to know what was switching people because honestly, people who voted Democrat and then voted in the last election and voted Republican in this election, that is not a small number. So, you know, there's that. That's a concern. It's not a huge concern because from what I understand for the good old Rachel Maddow show, she tells me that after the election, after a presidential election, the dominant party loses the governors in both New Jersey and Virginia. This time, they only lost Virginia. The Democrat governor won the race. So I'm not sure, but you know what? It's making me really feel like I want to take a real close look at what the 2022 elections look like, what those midterms are going to look like, because I'm sure, along with a lot of people, have said the Dems are going to rebound and do well. And again, that itself is not typical. Normally, the midterm election sees the president's party losing like seats, like not 2 or 3, but 10, 20, I think. With Clinton, if I remember, it was somewhere around 50. So, you know, but I still maintain, you know, I still energetically feel that Biden is going to end up with bigger majorities in the House and Senate. Okay, so let's take a look and see if we can figure out what in heaven's name is going to happen for the 2022 election. I'm just noticing the lighting is really bad here. I look like this part of my face is bruised. Just ignore it. I'm fine. It's just, this whole area of my of this room, my kitchen, is full of long, bright windows. Okay, and it's south facing, so there's a lot of sun that comes in here, and you know, it just is. Okay. Oh, by the way, new subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Soulprint family. There have been a lot of you in the past week or two. I'm thrilled that you're all here. I hope I live up to your expectations, and I hope you enjoy being part of the Soulprint experience. Okay. Come on down. I have a question. Okay. On here. Today's cup of tea is brought to you by Tinkerbell. All right. November 2022 midterm elections. November 2022 midterm elections. November 2022 midterm elections. Now, I'm going to do sort of a generic, an overview, and then we'll see if I need to break it down into the two distinct parties to get clarity. All right, so the 2022 election is definitely going to be an election, frankly, where judgment is passed, okay? Now, it's hard to know whether the judgment is about the Biden agenda and what does or doesn't get done, or a repudiation already about Trump and Trumpism. One doesn't know at this point. You know, the Republicans have now just flat out come out and said, we plan on running on lies. That's our platform. We are just going to run on lies. Because they see that. I mean, I'm sorry, but they were successful with that whole critical race theory. Big. They blew it up from sort of nothing to like everything. The vast majority of people didn't know what critical race theory was. They didn't know if it actually was or was not being taught in schools in their area. They didn't care. They didn't want it because the Republicans said it was bad. So, you know, at some point, are people going to start putting one and one together and saying, you know, really, like nothing you're telling us is the truth? Meanwhile, Biden is delivering. The infrastructure thing looks like it's moving ahead. Honestly, I was really busy helping my daughter this past weekend move, and so I'm not exactly clear on what the status of those bills are at the moment. But, you know, we'll find out. Okay, so there are those who are going to be walking away from their party of choice. You've got sort of magic happening, right? You've got the magician here. You've got a group of people or a party operating with all of their tools at their disposal, and they are making it work for them. And then you have another party that frankly feels a little bit embattled. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't quite feel like it's ready to surrender, but it's definitely a little bit battered and bruised. Okay, I'm going to move these cards here. Okay. So the feel-good party, okay, which from my perspective would be the Democrats, right? Because they're at least doing something besides stoking anger. So they are going to be doing some serious soul searching as they move to the end of this year and into the beginning of 2022. Ultimately, they are going to end up producing that which makes most people happy. And, you know, this is the thing, and I think we need to be prepared for the fact that not everybody is going to get everything. And frankly, if the Democrats were clever, they would let people know through the midterms that if you just vote us in a stronger majority in the House and Senate, we can get through a lot of the other stuff that we were not able to get through in the first part of Biden's term. That would be logical. What I fear is that people are going to be angry because this didn't get done and he promised it, or that wasn't as good as he promised it, and so to hell with him and to hell with the party. Well, so either you're not going to be motivated to vote, which is not a good thing because Republicans are always motivated to vote. So then, you know, the Democrats will lose, you know, their seats in Congress because people are showing their displeasure. It's going to take balance in order to make this situation a success for the Democrats. People are going to have to rein in their frustration. They're going to have to rein in their anger. They're going to have to look at the successes and say, okay, but what we have right now is still way better than what we did have. Or you can see where they're starting to move towards it. Like, you know, there has to be that sense that we're going to move away literally from the failures and we're going to start again reinforcing or pushing the positive. All right. And make no mistake, because the Republicans are going to do what Republicans do. They are going to bully. They are going to yell and scream. They are going to start wars. And, you know, it's a crazy thing, but it's not that so many of these people actually believe they're right as much as they just don't want to cross, you know, the crazy king. Okay? All right. I'm going to lay out cards, and I'm going to break it into two separate, I think, readings. That's what I'm going to do. So I want to see the Republicans. I want to take a look at the Republicans first, because hopefully then we'll be able to end this on a sweeter note. So I want to know about the Republicans in the 2022 midterms. Okay, do one more shuffle here. Republicans 2022 midterms. Republicans 2022 midterms. Republicans 2022 midterms. Okay. So the Republicans, make no mistake, are going to continue to play by Donald Trump's rules, basically. And even as these things get wound tighter and tighter around them, they're really not going to be able to find a good way to sort of extract themselves from his clutches. Now, you know, some people are saying, well, what Youngkin did that sort of was successful was, well, he didn't wrap his arms around Trump, nor he didn't also push him away. And so, and I mean, I have heard people in Virginia who voted Republican who said that had Trump showed up, it would have been a very different story about who they voted for. But there's going to be more exposure, but it doesn't look, unfortunately, he is at the base, okay? He is going to be part of what goes on there. Now, I have said before, and I still believe, that by 2024, he is like really not in the political circle. He's not in the sphere. I can't find his energy there. But for 2022, he's definitely determined to play a role. Now, then you have the Knight of Cups, so you have, you know, good news coming forward, or you have the anticipation or the expectation of good news coming. And make no mistake, they are going to do every single thing they can to strip any power from the Biden agenda that they could. So literally, the way the Republicans are looking at it right now is, okay, well, if we prevent most of the stuff from getting through now, then we win in the midterms, then we can prevent all of the stuff from getting through for the last 2 years. But with death showing up, it doesn't, you know, it looks like they're going to have to, the Republicans are going to have to end a way of behavior or attitude and sort of be reimagined, if you will, in order to go forward, because there's going to be stuff that comes out about Trump. There's going to be stuff that comes out about other Republicans, and it's really going to leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So either they rebrand themselves, or the party itself is literally in significant jeopardy of kind of like crumbling. They're not going to be able to destroy Biden and the agenda the way they want to or the way they hope to, in part because, you know what, if you're sitting there with whatever it is, a few $100s, a couple $1,000s, whatever it is, in your pocket that you didn't have during the next election, and you have this party telling you, you know, it's all lies and they're not doing anything for you, it doesn't hold water. It's, you know, and it looks as if going into those midterms, this is often the card I have for Biden. So it looks like he is going to be strong as the Republicans suffer exposures. And ultimately, you know, they're going to end out in the cold. And they're, you know what, it's crazy, but it looks as if no matter what, they are going to keep plowing ahead on this broken down, decrepit road. A lot of dark money, and frankly, a lot of regrets and sadness as they move towards 2024. Because I think they're going to find that the strategy isn't working. You know, there's a lot of Republicans who are really, really anxious to move on from Trump, okay? They view him, I mean, I'm not talking about the crazy ones that show up at this rally, but I'm talking about Republicans. You know, they view him sort of as a black eye on the party, and I think that they feel that, you know, they just want to move past him, and I guess, you know, we'll see as it gets closer to 2022, the more Trump inserts himself, it feels like the worse it's going to get. And make no mistake, I mean, there are places, what was it, over there have been something like 10 people either voted into office or who are kind of the party's nominee, I'm not sure, who were at the January 6th rally, okay? So there's going to be that influence. It kind of feels, and I don't know a lot about the Tea Party and what went on there, but if Jim Jordan is an example of it, and Rand Paul, it feels like even kind of once that has moved on, there's still going to be these little pockets of these people who know less than nothing about everything, and who are holding office, and for reasons nobody can understand, their constituents seem to want that to happen. So even if the big lie is exposed or people just start backing away from it, because I don't, you know, it feels though as if you're still going to end up with some of these nutcases, in my opinion, in office. And honestly, the only way to deal with this is to make sure that there are many more Democrats in Congress than there are Republicans. It's math. And it's going to be hard, right? You've got gerrymandering stuff going on, although I do think that there's going to be some adjustments made to the Voting Rights Act. I still see that somehow going through. It may be combined for right now, but they're going to be able to get some stuff through that will put a stop to some of the actually really extreme stuff that is going on. Okay, so Democrats midterm 2022, Democrats midterms 2022, Democrats midterms 2022. Okay. Okay, so what we have here is you've got support. Okay, there's going to be a lot of support for the party. There's going to be money coming in, and even though it may not look like it or feel like it now, it really does feel like there's going to be, it feels grassroots, but it also feels sort of, more corporate or bigger donors that are going to lend their support. Excuse me. So there's that. They are going to have to juggle. They're going to have to campaign, if you will, on two things. Their successes from this term and their promises for next term. But the promises are going to need to be spoken of as with a much bigger majority than we have now. It's like with every advertisement, every speech, they're going to really, really need to keep pushing the idea that if you don't get out and vote, if you're not motivated, what we have accomplished could ultimately end up being destroyed, A, and B, we won't be able to kind of run back and pick up the stuff that had to get chopped in the first place and start incorporating it going forward. If Biden gets the majorities that will just stop the Republican nonsense, it feels like you're going to be going into the 2024 elections feeling finally like the government is functioning for the people, that justice is arriving. Maybe not all at once, maybe not in all areas, but it's coming. It's coming forward. There is going to be a sense that there is, I don't know, like a benevolent emperor, right? Like there's somebody who actually cares. So this is looking much, much more promising now. The Dems have to do some soul searching. They have to, they have to start to realize, and I think that they are, and perhaps it saddens them a bit, but they have to realize that politics is now not what it used to be. There's not even the pretense of it anymore, which I think is part of what is kind of so sad to them. Okay, because it's not like, the Dems were always the lily white and the Republicans were always the dark knight. But there was that sense of camaraderie, getting together, trying to work for the common good. Well, the Republicans have completely pushed that to the side now. And they're like, yeah, no, we don't care. We're gonna run on lies and we're gonna do what we want and we're just about destruction. That's what we're about. That's our party motto now. Let's destroy. There are going to be some disappointments, and I think it feels like some of the disappointments actually may be pertaining to people who are choosing to not run. That you would kind of hope would have, given it another go. Now, having said that, there's some of the older ones that really do need to go. And this is the thing, you've heard me before talk about the dinosaurs, right? The dinosaurs are those older generation. And frankly, sometimes you don't need to be old to be a dinosaur. But they're really stuck on that sort of white superiority. Everything was wonderful in the 50s. It was a great life we were living. They are so entrenched in a false memory that they are just so incredibly reluctant to give it up. And because the writing is kind of on the wall and they see that things really are changing just culturally, right? Like people just want different things and they want, it to be more fair. They want it to be more balanced. They want it to be more inclusive. So even in, there are some, I guess this is a really long way for me to say, there are even some Democrats who need to get out. They need to be replaced by younger blood and, more progressive ideas and attitudes. But at least there is the potential of that happening in the Democrat Party, where honestly, in the Republican Party, what you're getting is new blood. but it's new blood that is so like a dinosaur that, you know, they're not going to move ahead no how, no way. Okay. The Democrats are going to have to mitigate. Be very careful to include everyone. Nobody wants to feel like they were the group that got, you know, chopped on the chopping block, okay? So they're going to have to be incredibly mindful of not only the accomplishments, but frankly of the work that still needs to be done. And they're going to have to do it in such a way so that the people who are annoyed, excuse me, because their whatever didn't get done, or it didn't get done to their satisfaction, you know, though you need those votes. And so those people are going to have to be acknowledged. And there's going to have to be plans in place as to when they win big majorities in the House and Senate, how they're going to move forward on those promises. But you know what? There's your promises, right? So as of right now, despite Virginia, it looks as if you know, as moving forward, the Dems are going to be in you know, a little bit better shape. So we're going to cross our fingers and pray to whatever benevolent being we want to pray to, or the universe, or, you know, whatever. But we're going to start praying, okay? We're going to be sending out positive energy and positive thoughts, because we know, oh, look what came flying out. Nice. Okay, the victory card. Because we know that positive thoughts and positive energy create more, and the more there is, the more positive happens, right? You focus on the anger and the fear, and more lower vibration energy is attracted to that. You focus on the positive, and you get, you know, a higher vibration energy, which is about hope and inclusiveness and love and support and all of those things. So for right now, today, we're going to start focusing on positive energy for the midterms, positive energies for 2024, and positive energies for the Biden administration today, and going forward to every single day for the rest of his term. Okay? So, that's what I know today. Thank you so much for being here. You know, the people who have subscribed, and the thumbs up and the comments, thank you so much. They mean so much. And of course, they help keep the video in circulation, because maybe, just maybe, out there might be some more people who would really like to be part of the Soulprint family. Until next time, take care. Be well. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.